because we have so many kids traveling from so many different locations, it's hard sometimes. They have transportation difficulties, and maybe it's difficult for people, for groups in the southern part of the state to come all the way to South Bend. So it is really a difficult task. But we're here telling the stories of these foster kids in need of adoption. So let's get into it, shall we? We want to get to our story for this week. I want to share with you the video of Marcellous. Marcellous is a 16-year-old from Michigan. He is a Grant Me Hope kid. Grant Me Hope, of course, are partners who help us tell the stories of the foster kids in need of adoption in the state of Michigan. Now, when we are telling these stories with Grant Me Hope's help, what that does is we can connect you or remind you to go to Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange, and that's where you'll find stories like Marcellous. Marcellous is a kid with special needs, and we shared his story this morning on 16 Morning News Now, and we'll share it again tonight just before 6. Marcellous is a kid with special needs. His case manager helped tell his story, and that was really incredible because he was way too shy, so I believe that's why the case manager was able to tell his story and just say how sweet he was, because that's what you need to know about Marcellous. He's just a real sweet kid and really wants to find a family to adopt him. He's active in Special Olympics. He likes video games. He likes to assemble things. They say he's really good at music. If he listens to a song, he's able to get the words down almost immediately, and then be able to sing it word for word later. So I love people like that. So that's Marcellous. We're going to share his story tonight just before 6. We had a story last week, and I want to go to this now. Last week's story was a kid named Charlie. We revisited the story of Charlie because Charlie is now 15 years old, but I first interviewed him over 3 years ago. And what I remember about Charlie is he was so smart, so science-minded, and just a real sweet kid. Had very detailed answers. I remember that about Charlie. He needs a new family. He's been in foster care for over 12 years, maybe over 13 years at this point. He says he's done being a foster kid. He said that to me the last time I interviewed him, and that was again in 2021, so it's been over 3 years. What I did find out is, well, look at these new pictures of him. He's such a good-looking kid. He's still an adventurous kid. He loves science still. These are new pictures of him again. He still loves pizza, still loves spaghetti. He's got a great heart and a great sense of humor. Again, this is our story of Charlie. When we first met him in 2021, very artistic kid, very thoughtful kid. He is still waiting, and you know, it's not very often that we get updates like this where they reach out to me and say, look, we really want you to repeat the story because he's still waiting. A lot of kids are matched, and then I don't hear about them until they've long been adopted. And that's also to the privacy of the family. If they want to reach out to me and say, hey, we'd love to share the story of how we met up with this kid or whatever. But in the cases of some of these kids that are still stuck in foster care, and we've shared their story years ago, every now and then Department of Child Services of Indiana reaches out to me and says, can you please share their story again? We really need to get him a home or her a home. And in this case, it's Charlie. He's now 15 years old and still waiting, and he's just a brilliant kid, very science-minded. He is just someone who really deserves that chance to be with a family. It's something he's never known, really, because he was taken as a baby and placed in foster care. So Charlie needs your help. If you're interested in figuring out how to become a foster parent, or maybe what the adoption process is like through foster to adopt, you can find helpful links on our website. We have it all there, WNDU.com. You go to Wednesday's Child, and you can see right there, all of our stories are right there. And that's how you actually can find different stories that we've done in the past, but also the links right there to Indiana Adoption Program or to Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange or Grant Me Hope. Grant Me Hope is the program in Michigan that helps us tell the stories of the children in foster care. So many kids that we feature in our Wednesday's Child segment are teenagers, and they are getting close to aging out of the system. That's a great danger because these kids are at risk of so many problems that you would call a problem in society today, right? We're talking incarceration, drug use, pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy, depression, suicide. This type of thing can be avoided if kids have the support system of a family, and that has long been proven. What these kids are teenagers getting so close to aging out of the system, and maybe it's just this 2-year gap, maybe it's a 3-year gap where you're intervening, maybe you're helping get these kids a license, a driver's license, maybe you're helping these kids with some career choices. These are the extra attention things that we give our own kids. But when a kid is growing up in a facility, if a kid is growing up in a group home, if a kid is growing up in a very busy, packed foster family, they're maybe not getting that extra attention that they need. So that's why we do the stories of Wednesday's Child. We've shared plenty of success stories too, and you can find those on our website as well. You'll find those stories categorized as a place to call home. That's the title we give them if the child is successfully adopted through foster care in our Wednesday's Child segments. We take those graduate stories and make them our a place to call home stories, and we love those success stories. So we're always happy to have those cheerful happy endings. But you know what? It's really just a beginning for these kids. So we do hope you'll consider becoming a foster parent. Maybe adoption from foster care isn't on your plate. Maybe it is, but you can at least learn about how you can help in this process. There's other ways to help in this process. Sharing our stories, that's another way, because we're just also looking for ways to get more attention to an overwhelmed foster care system in both the state of Indiana and in the state of Michigan. So we thank you for your help with that. Again, our story, A Wednesday's Child, is going to run tonight just before 6. Again, our story tonight is Marcellous. We hope you'll tune in for that. And then you can check out all of our stories online at WNDU.com. So glad you could join us on the stream at WNDU.com. You can check out our other stream programs that we've done right there in the digital tab. If you go to WNDU.com, you'll find us there. Have a great day, everyone. So long.